Live at 10, the Fayette County School Board makes a move to delve deeper into how it spends money and where cuts can be made. We'll have details from tonight's special meeting.
Also ahead, a camping trip, a deadly gunshot, and a family's search for justice. Why one sister says Kentucky law let her brother's killer walk free.
And we've learned the name of a teenager who was killed in a shooting on Sunday, what the coroner's report has to say.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Marvin Bartlett.
And I'm Andrea Walker. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, the Fayette County School Board voted to launch an external investigation into the district's spending. This comes as many people are questioning how the district fell into a $16 million budget shortfall.
Several auditing firms will be asked to come up with proposals for the probe before one is chosen. Dejiana Wilson was at tonight's special called meeting and has more on what comes next.
I think the only way to bring back trust of people in this community is going to be to actually show them what happened.
It can take a long time to rebuild lost confidence, but the Fayette County School Board believes it's taken the first step to do that.
We have a motion by Board Member Green. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Mundy.
The school board announced external eyes will be put on the district's finances and operations. This piggybacks off of Superintendent Dr. Demetrius Liggins' recent announcement that an internal investigation has already begun.
Well, I think what you saw is a consensus that we want just an external independent review and analysis to assess the situation, figure out what the internal processes look like, what led us to this point, and then more importantly, moving forward.
Board Chair Tyler Murphy says the district's audit committee will be tasked with figuring out what areas need to be put under a microscope. Outside audit firms will be asked to offer a plan.
Give us a perspective. What would that type of work in Fayette County look like? What would it cost us? Give us a rundown of what you propose and reduce, and come back to us with a recommendation.
Noah Cornett says the investigation is a needed move, yet is pushing for a forensics audit.
The main difference being that a forensic audit is going to focus on allegations of mishandling of funds, criminal, whatever it is, which is what I think is called for here.
The board says it will listen to the committee to ensure it's not duplicating the efforts from other external audits already put in place, and to figure out how much this may cost taxpayers.
We want to make sure we are wise and efficient stewards of taxpayers' money, so not duplicating services. And then what is not being done in other spaces, what would the cost be in that space, and what would be an efficient way to reach those goals?
Murphy says there's no timeline on how long this process may take, knowing an audit can't be rushed if you want it to be thorough. In Lexington, Dejiana Wilson, Fox 56 News.
Earlier in the day, Superintendent Demetrius Liggins was on the hot seat in Frankfort as lawmakers grilled him on the district's spending. We'll have details of that hearing at the state capitol coming up in our next half hour.
Turning now to weather, the heat persists and chances for rain are still few and far between.
We need it so badly. Those lawns are very brown, dry. Meteorologist Justin Esterly joins us now with the details. At least we don't have to mow, right?
Yeah, I haven't mowed my dirt in weeks, I'll tell you that. We've got no rain in the forecast heading into tomorrow either. Just another day of partly cloudy to mostly sunny with temperatures starting above average, closer to 60. And then we're going to be going into the afternoon trying to get back to where we were today, mid to upper 80s. Some spots trying to get to 90. We've got more chances for that as we roll through the rest of this week as well. Your planner for tomorrow is free and clear. We did have some cloud cover and influence from this low that's just off the east coast that's been causing half of our viewing area to actually be much cooler. Some spots in eastern Kentucky have had a hard time coming up out of even the 70s today. So it's kind of a battle of two air masses as cloud cover slowly breaks apart for us overnight tonight. You can see some low to upper 60s there already, cool in Mount Sterling too, but other spots like Lexington 73, Danville at 70 right now. Everybody trying to bottom out near 60 with those other places going into the lower 50s. We're going to go back to the heat and try to find you some rain chances coming up in your full forecast.
We now know the name of the teen killed in a Frankfort home invasion Sunday morning. Fayette County coroner says 16-year-old Shyrome Randall died Monday at the hospital from a gunshot wound. His death is being ruled a homicide. Police say 2 people were found with life-threatening injuries inside an apartment on Ashwood Court. An arrest citation shows 27-year-old Mikhail Marks was found nearby with his clothes and the suspected murder weapon recovered from a trash can. Marks is facing several charges, including murder and 2 counts of first-degree assault. We're tracking new information about a robbery investigation in Laurel County. Deputies say the suspect, wanted for spraying a store clerk with pepper spray and stealing cash, has been identified and arrested. 45-year-old James Garfield Smith III turned himself in early this morning. He is now charged with first-degree robbery and second-degree assault.
New tonight, a London man is behind bars charged with DUI after a car accident. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says 47-year-old Brandon Michael Thompson was arrested early yesterday morning. Police say they were called to Rough Creek Road about a man knocking on the caller's door saying he'd been in a car accident. He was bleeding from the head and slurring his words. Deputies determined Thomas was under the influence. They found Thompson's car near the home, lying nearly on its side in a ditch. Thompson was treated at the hospital for his injuries and charged with third offense DUI. Just a few months ago, a camping trip turned deadly, ending a 20-year friendship with a single gunshot.
Now the victim's sister is speaking out, blaming not only the man who pulled the trigger, but also Kentucky law. Kylie Hill has the story.
What was meant to be a 4th of July camping trip ended in tragedy.
I was just in disbelief at first, like they have the wrong person. There's no way that happened.
Her brother, 35-year-old Thomas Dick, better known as TJ, was killed that weekend. Investigators say the man accused of pulling the trigger was his best friend of 20 years, Anthony Emerson.
My brother, at the time that he died, had been living with Tony for 3 years at Tony's grandparents' house, and they worked together. He thought of Tony like a brother to him more than a best friend.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says the shooting happened inside a camper on Turkey Gap Road in the early hours of July 6th. Emerson told 911 dispatchers he fired the shot after an argument while drinking.
Sir, who shot him? I did. He came in and threatened my life. I didn't have employees.
The betrayal he must have felt when he felt that sting, when he heard that bang, when he took his last breath. That part is what goes through your mind when you realize justice has not been served. Not yet.
Deputies told her that the 2 men were dropped off at the campsite by a neighbor just after 1 a.m., saying that person even texted their family to confirm. Minutes later, her brother was dead.
But all of a sudden, there's an altercation so bad that you shoot your best friend of over 15 years and claim you had no choice, even though your best friend was unarmed.
Emerson was arrested and charged with murder, but pleaded not guilty. His attorney argued self-defense, and a grand jury ultimately declined to indict him. In a statement, Emerson's attorney wrote in part, quote, "This case was never about murder. It was about survival. Tony had no choice but to defend himself," adding, "Kentucky law is clear. Self-defense is not a crime. The grand jury's decision confirms that principle." Kentucky is a stand your ground state, meaning you can use deadly force if you reasonably believe you or someone else's life is in danger. Beasley believes that law is flawed.
It's now the burden of the prosecutor to prove that it's not self-defense, which I think is the most alarming thing that I found out about all this, because that would mean that everybody could claim self-defense on the stand your ground law. This man got away with it on an unarmed man with no witnesses to corroborate his story. He will get his justice one day. This is just a bump along the way. I'm not giving up. I will not rest till my last breath. I will be fighting for justice, and I will get justice, because I know for a fact this was not self-defense.
Kylie Hill, Fox 56 News.
The search for 2 Ohio escapees is now stretched into Kentucky. One is back in custody. The other is still on the run. The Brown County Sheriff's Office says Roy Butler and Jerry Cooper broke out of the detention center last night, damaging a security window and escaping through the impound lot. Butler, who was locked up on drug trafficking charges, has been caught. Deputies believe Cooper, who was jailed for attempted murder, is hiding in the Dover area near the Mason-Bracken County line. A Lexington police officer has resigned after a lengthy investigation found he was using kratom while on duty.
Yeah, documents show Officer John Gibbons used the drug repeatedly between June 20th and 24th. In one case, he was found passed out behind the wheel of his cruiser in a Rally's drive-thru. Another officer testified they found a bottle of kratom inside his vehicle. Witnesses said Gibbons was disoriented, didn't recognize his co-workers, and appeared to be in a psychotic state. He admitted to investigators that using kratom was nearly an everyday occurrence at the time.
Gibbons had already been suspended in November 2024 after multiple at-fault crashes with his patrol vehicle. The internal investigation determined at least 2 of those wrecks were kratom related. Disciplinary records show his resignation took effect August 8th. The DEA calls kratom an herbal substance that can produce opioid-like effects and lists it as a drug of concern. Gibbons had been with the department since April 2021. You can read more about the investigation on our website, fox56news.com.
A judge has granted permanent custody of Crystal Rogers' son to Brooks Houck's sister. Court documents show Rhonda McElvoy will now have full custody of 12-year-old Eli. She's had temporary custody since last year. Brooks Houck, who was found guilty in Rogers' 2015 murder, agreed not to contest the decision. The judge signed off on the agreement Monday. Rogers' family has not objected to the custody request.
Another candidate is jumping into the race for Mitch McConnell's Senate seat.
Meet the newest Democrat and hear why he's running next.
The first 10 minutes of Fox 56 News at 10 were brought to you commercial-free. Sponsored by Fayette Heating and Air.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need. And it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You deserve a news network that roots for America. News Nation is bringing more Americans together with facts, balance, and respect for all of us. See why America's fastest growing cable network is News Nation.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
This is Fox 56 News.
Another candidate is joining the race to replace U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell.
And as Bodie Brooks reports, now Kentucky Democrats have a primary race of their own to watch.
I grew up in rural western Kentucky. You know, we grew up pretty impoverished, our family. It was a single mother household. I'm the youngest of 4 children. She worked 2 full-time jobs at a minimum.
It's an experience Logan Forsyth knows was not unique then and is not unique now. He believes Kentucky's next U.S. Senator should be someone who understands what it's like to start from little.
We had programs in place, and we still do up to a point right now, that help families like that struggling. I was on Medicaid growing up. All of my health care was funded through Medicaid. I had leg braces that helped me walk that Medicaid paid for. We had food stamps.
Forsyth, a Lexington attorney and former U.S. Secret Service agent, says a run for office was not something he imagined doing a year ago. But the recent budget reconciliation bill that reduced funding for the same safety net programs that helped him gave him a push, telling me those programs opened a door for him.
And they said, hey, listen, you can do better. You can change your circumstances. You know, just put in the work, walk through here. But we have the door. You don't have to worry about that.
He says if he didn't fight against cuts, he believes it would be like he's slamming that door shut for others. In addition to protecting those programs, Forsyth's legal practice is in workers' rights, a policy area he'd hope to specialize in. And as a first-generation college student, he wants to work on expanding access to higher education. But as a Democrat, he knows winning the Senate in Kentucky is something that has not happened in decades.
I think that they will realize that someone who is running with the promise of just focusing on everyday Kentucky issues, putting forth the interest of Kentuckians above all, including self-interest. I think that that's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Forsyth will face Louisville State Rep and Minority Floor Leader Pam Stevenson in next May's primary. For your local election headquarters, Bodie Brooks, Fox 56 News.
Coming up, we're going around the world in 56 seconds.
Including why Israel's prime minister was in court today.
And I'm trying to find you some rain chances. We're going to talk about when that next round of possibility will be.
But first, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $400 million. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $81 million.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need. And it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
All right, hey, welcome back in. High temperatures from today were toasty in some spots and much cooler in others. It's really all we've got to talk about with how consistent our forecast has been as of late. It's been toastier the past couple of days. We're seeing that again with highs in the upper 80s to near 90 for us in the bluegrass and then working down towards south and central parts of the state. But you go out east and you see upper 70s to low 80s. Cloud cover getting in the way, making it difficult for their temperatures to rise up. And we have the same story here tonight. Allowed them to cool quicker, but also keeping them steady there in the upper 60s. Well, we've got a few spots falling into the 60s, but many still holding on to the 70-degree mark right now. Tonight, most of us will bottom out in the mid to upper 50s to near 60, probably dropping just below that like we did this morning. And then we go into tomorrow afternoon with a very similar look. We've got low to mid to upper 80s as you work from east to west. 88 here in Lexington to try to match our high temperature from today, and it's just going to help improve our September stats. So far this month, because the first half of the month was actually cooler than average for a good chunk, our average temperature so far is 69 degrees and then some. We've got below average temperatures here for us by about 2.5 with our running average. That's every day's high and low averaged out to get that number, and we're likely going to see that switch and change and get warmer because of this outlook all the way from now through the end of the month. We're talking above average summer-like temperatures, maybe not so much the summer-like humidity, which we'll take, but still feeling hot on those days where the sun's out and temperatures are trying to hit 90. We've got cloud cover still floating around a little bit, but we are going to see that thin out and clear just a bit for tomorrow with more of the same as we have the low off to the east coast wrap some of that mid-level moisture in to help with a few extra clouds. But high pressure is going to float in behind that as we get our way into Thursday, so we'll get rid of some of that by then, but still partly cloudy theme. Here it is. You can see maybe some thicker cloud cover for eastern Kentucky right away. Temperatures are going to have a harder time climbing as long as that cloud cover is there. Let me get some streaky clouds for us into the afternoon. No rain in the forecast. There comes that high pressure floating in quick for early Thursday morning. We've got a front approaching but stalling out, breaking out because high pressure is going to beat it out, but we could still see a little bit of cloud cover here and there at times to mix in with our sunshine. As far as rain chances go, we're still trying to find you some. By Sunday, we could see at least western Kentucky getting in on some action, but as it floats our direction, dissipates, starts to dry up. Still some spotty chances for us later in the day on Sunday. And these models have been going back and forth and all around. So it's a trend that we're going to watch. There's a system that's going to come to us. And for Monday, it's going to try to stick around, mostly just cloud cover than anything else. If we try to look into Tuesday, maybe there's some hints of more opportunities there. We are going to try to find that both Tuesday and Wednesday next week, too. But overall, things aren't looking all that great. So here's what you got. Just more of the heat, a downturn with those rain chances, and fall officially starting on Monday.
Thank you, Justin. Israel's prime minister appears in court and Mexico celebrates its independence.
Those stories and more as we go around the world in 56. One person is dead and 13 others injured after a Russian strike on a Ukrainian city. Officials say at least 10 strikes hit civilian areas overnight, sparking fires across the city.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to court to testify in his ongoing corruption trial. He faces charges of fraud, breach of trust, and accepting bribes in 3 separate cases. He is the first sitting Israeli leader to take the stand as a criminal defendant.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Qatar as negotiations continue to end the war between Israel and Hamas. His visit comes as tensions in the region continue to rise.
Mexico celebrates Independence Day with fireworks. Today marks the country's struggle for freedom from Spain between the years 1810 and 1812. Mexico also held a traditional military parade to honor the occasion. That's around the world in 56. Now here's Colby with a look at sports.
Hey there, guys. UK transfer running back Seth McGowan has been dominant in his first 3 showings. The Cat senior now leads the SEC in rushing touchdowns. We'll hear from him on his performance so far after the break.
Download the Fox 56 Weather Authority app today. Now, Fox 56 Sports.
Welcome back. Everything seems to be going in the right direction for Kentucky's senior running back Seth McGowan, who has made himself known in every single one of the Wildcats games so far this season. In Game 1 of the year against Toledo, he found the end zone once, and since then, his knack for scoring has only grown. He notched 2 touchdowns in Game 2 and delivered his best performance yet this past Saturday against Eastern Michigan, racking up 104 yards on 18 carries, punching in a trio of touchdowns. Despite the breakout numbers, none of his teammates are surprised. Offensive coordinator Bush Hamden summed it up best, saying McGowan's success exemplifies the amount of work he puts in behind the scenes.
He's about as professional college players I've been around. He goes out there every single day and works like it's a game, and I think he's getting the rewards of it on game day. I just feel can't be more proud of a guy for the amount of work he puts in, and we just got to keep pushing through.
I didn't care about my performance last week. I don't care about my performance this week. The only thing I care about is the win. Obviously, I feel like I could have did a lot better. I feel like I still left a lot of yards out there, and that's the stuff that's got to be eliminated. We're seeking for championship football.
Here's a look at McGowan's stats through 3 games, which is very impressive. 275 rushing yards on 51 carries, 6 total rushing touchdowns, which happens to lead the entire SEC conference. On top of that, he's averaging 5.4 yards per rush so far this season. And at this rate, he is on pace for an all-time season for Kentucky. McGowan is getting some much-needed rest with the bye week in full swing, but it won't be long before he has to lock back in. He'll need to deliver yet another dominant performance on the road at South Carolina. Andrea.
Colby, thank you. Still ahead, tough questions from state lawmakers for the head of Fayette County schools.
Find out more on the budget concerns reaching from Lexington to Frankfort.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/team up.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You deserve a news network that roots for America. News Nation is bringing more Americans together with facts, balance, and respect for all of us. See why America's fastest-growing cable network is News Nation.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up.
Laws alone cannot stop the bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
I
don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10:30.
Fayette County schools have been making headlines, and this morning, Superintendent Dr. Demetris Liggins was at the state capitol facing tough questions about the district's budget.
As Allie Root reports, Dr. Liggins is taking responsibility for the $16 million shortfall and is determined to find out what went wrong.
A remorseful Superintendent Demetris Liggins stood before lawmakers Tuesday addressing major concerns about the school district's budget.
I wish I had done more, and I regret that we are in the position that we're in today.
Senator Lindsay Titchener pressed the superintendent on the district's credit card statements, calling its travel expenses jaw-dropping. She claims the average monthly credit card expense is $400,000 and noted reimbursement for Dr. Liggins' travel expenses alone in a 6-month period was $60,000. The receipts also included a $7,000 trip to Australia.
These are our taxpayers' dollars that should be spent first and foremost to educate the students in Fayette County schools, not for luxury. It's incredibly disappointing.
Dr. Liggins admits there were trips that should not have happened and says travel for professional development outside of school campuses has been cut this year.
But I will tell you that the goal of any professional learning is to bring back to our district what is necessary in order to ultimately impact students.
The superintendent also explained that some employees had not been providing him with accurate information about the budget.
It's a position where a lot of people feel they need to protect, but that is not the way of doing it by not bringing all the information that's necessary.
Representative Adriel Camuel, who is also a district employee, says regaining trust with the community will be imperative moving forward.
We need the families in Fayette County Public Schools and across the state to have faith and believe in and support our public schools. Because I think everybody in this room knows when public schools do well, not just the community, but the entire state benefits.
Dr. Liggins says he plans to rebuild that trust and take appropriate action so this doesn't happen again. In Frankfort, Allie Root, Fox 56 News.
Police say a student is in custody after making a threat at Prestonsburg High School. Officials say he told 2 students he had a gun in his backpack. The school was immediately placed on lockdown. Officers, deputies, and troopers responded within minutes. No weapons were found, and police say there was no evidence of any real threat. The student is charged with terroristic threatening and is being held at the Breathitt County Juvenile Detention Center.
New tonight, a London woman is arrested inside a courtroom for disorderly conduct. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says 47-year-old April Collins of London was arrested yesterday morning inside a courtroom in the Laurel County Judicial Center. Police say she slammed her belongings across the court bench, and when she was asked to step to the back, she reportedly began to yell and throw herself onto the floor. Collins is charged with disorderly conduct. Also new tonight out of Laurel County, the Sheriff's Office is adding a new arson and fire detective. Detective Brian Lewis, a retired KSP certified arson investigator, will take on the role. The position was created with the help from the Laurel Fiscal Court to address a growing need in the community. The Sheriff's Office says it eventually plans to form a multi-agency arson investigation team.
Kentucky leaders gathered at Heaven Hill Distillery this afternoon to celebrate bourbon and culinary tourism. Senate President Robert Stivers, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg, Corbin Mayor Susie Rasmus, and industry leaders joined 3 business owners to select a special barrel of Elijah Craig. Officials say the event highlights how food, hospitality, and bourbon connect urban and rural communities across Kentucky.
This is tourism, this is jobs, this is people going to hotels and restaurants and visiting our state and giving a good impression of our state. This has so many connotations and implications by doing this.
The bourbon from that barrel will be bottled and shared between Hotel Distal and the Downtown Marriott in Louisville and the Wrigley in Corbin.
Former State Senator Damon Thayer has been inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Thayer represented the 17th District, which includes Scott, Grant, and Kenton counties, from 2003 until this year. He also started his own brand called Kentucky Senator Bourbon. Thayer says although he wasn't born in Kentucky, for him the bourbon industry is a staple of the Commonwealth that he's glad to be part of.
And as a guy who's a transplant, one of the only 25% of people who weren't born here but chose to come here, the bourbon industry is what makes this place special and unique. And I'm just glad during my time in the legislature that I had a few strokes on a masterpiece.
The Hall of Fame honors people who have helped elevate the reputation and image of the state's signature spirit. FBI Director Kash Patel clashes with lawmakers over the Charlie Kirk assassination, social media, and even the Epstein case.
What he revealed and how he fired back next.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
News Nation is earning trust by reporting all sides to every story.
That's why News Nation is getting traction.
See why more Americans trust News Nation. News for all Americans.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Fireworks on Capitol Hill today as FBI Director Kash Patel defended his handling of the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation and more.
Fox News correspondent David Spunt has the latest.
Senator, you can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
You may be the charge of the
I'm
FBI,
not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you.
Mr. Chairman.
Not afraid of you.
Verbal fireworks on Capitol Hill today as FBI Director Kash Patel took incoming criticism from both sides of the aisle.
It seems your plate's pretty full. I would urge you, get with your people
And if you think you need more people, now's the time to do it. Will you look?
I will look, sir.
Near the end of the hearing, Democratic Senator Adam Schiff and Director Patel both scolded by Chairman Chuck Grassley for yelling over each other.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Both of you be quiet.
Patel opened his comments discussing the assassination of his friend Charlie Kirk and the role social media has played into the investigation.
The data shows that social media is wildly out of control.
He revealed there were, quote, a lot more than 20 people in an online chat with suspect Tyler Robinson.
Running them all down.
During the hearing, Grassley also revealed new information about a list compiled by then Special Counsel Jack Smith's team for the Trump 2020 election case. He claims 92 Republican-affiliated people and organizations were part of Smith's probe.
On that political list was one of Charlie Kirk's groups, Turning Point USA.
Patel also discussing the Jeffrey Epstein case and bipartisan calls to release more information.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Patel criticized former U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, who gave Epstein a plea deal in 2008. Acosta was later President Trump's labor secretary and resigned in 2019 amid renewed criticism of that deal. Jeffrey Epstein was found dead just a few weeks later. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
A judge has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The judge ruled there was no evidence the shooting was a terrorist act, writing that while Mangione targeted the company, his goal was not to intimidate or coerce the public. Mangione still faces federal murder charges and, if convicted, could face the death penalty. His next hearing in New York is set for December.
Stay with us for 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Including it's almost time again for the time change debate. Researchers tick off reasons not to change our clocks.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/team up.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws alone cannot stop bullying.
Well, I completely disagree. Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
A troubling trend, a close call on camera, and remembering Robert Redford.
Here are 5 things to know before you go to bed. Police around the nation are still dealing with a dangerous social media trend called the door kick challenge. Teens record themselves ringing doorbells, kicking doors, and then running away. This is video from Daphne, Alabama. Police say kids may think it's a harmless prank, but it frightens homeowners and some may take action. Earlier this year, 2 11-year-old boys in Houston took the challenge, and the homeowner came out and shot one of them.
New evidence suggests switching between standard time and daylight saving time may not be what's best for our health. Researchers studied how time policies on light exposure and circadian rhythm affect a person's internal clock. The data suggests staying in standard time, which prioritizes morning light, could help prevent more than 2.5 million cases of obesity and 300,000 strokes across the country each year.
Scientists and veterinarians are working to help save the Amazon's endangered pink river dolphins from the threat of mercury contamination. According to one marine biologist leading those efforts, mercury pollution is coming from illegal gold mining upstream. Like in humans, mercury in dolphins can cause neurological and organ problems. Scientists have seen a 52% decline in pink dolphins over the last several decades.
A scary close call caught on video outside a gas station in Nebraska. Look at this. This footage released by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office shows a man cleaning his windshield when an out-of-control car comes right toward him. The man was lucky to get out of the way just in time. The driver of the car came away with just minor injuries, but was charged with reckless driving for going 25 miles over the speed limit and having no license or proof of insurance.
Movie fans are remembering Robert Redford, who died at his home in Utah this morning at the age of 89. The actor was one of the biggest stars of the 70s with such films as The Candidate, The Way We Were, and All the President's Men. He was also an award-winning director and creator of the Sundance Film Festival. There you go, 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
All right, a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Keep the toasty temperatures around. We were short of 90 degrees here in Lexington today. We'll likely be short of it tomorrow, but it strolls back into the forecast Thursday and Friday. We'll get close to it again on Saturday, but there's going to be some small changes starting to work in. Fall officially begins on Monday, and then we're going to have some scattered shower activity try to develop for us. It isn't going to do a whole lot to our temperatures. We'll still be warmer than average, but nonetheless, hopefully we can get some rain to come through. High temperatures for us today, 89 degrees in Lexington. In eastern Kentucky, though, you see a much cooler trend. What that was from is a lot of cloud cover that came off of a system just to our east. Now tonight, most of us will be partly cloudy, falling down towards the 60-degree mark, likely falling into the upper 50s for most as we get into tomorrow afternoon. It's right back to about where we were today. There's really nothing different in our forecast from today to tomorrow. They're copy-paste. So 88, maybe 89, getting close to that 90-degree mark once again. As far as September has gone, we have averaged 69 degrees and some change here for us. That's the high and the low averaged together across the whole month. That's actually 2 degrees and then some below average for September. But with the forecast outlook the way it is, we will likely flip that right above average for us here within the next couple of days. By the end of the month, surely it will be a warmer than average September. We've got above average in the outlook for pretty much everybody, so we're not alone in this summer-like trend for us that's been rolling through this month, especially this second half, and we'll keep it going. Watch this. We've got satellite and radar with not a lot on it. There's the low out to the east. It's pushing some of that mid-level moisture in the cloud cover our way, but all we're really going to get is another dose of high pressure to kind of move that cloud cover out and keep us rolling as we go through midweek. So tomorrow morning, some of us waking up to some cloud cover, but otherwise partly cloudy through the afternoon. High pressure comes in, back to clearing for Thursday, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. That high pressure keeps a front from getting here, which means rain chances are even lesser if it could get here. But when we go through the next big thing, that's where we find a better chance. We're going to have a couple systems try to come our direction. Maybe a couple spotty showers on Sunday. Does not look great. Same story heading into Monday. Everything in the vicinity, but not really bringing us what we need to get rid of the drought that is likely to expand as we go through this week. So one more look at your 7-day forecast, just keeping the summertime feel around. Colby?
Thank you, Justin. Basketball season will be here before we know it, and today we received a big update on UK star guard Otega Owe. He suffered an injury this summer but is set to return soon. We'll have more of an update next in sports.
Download the Fox 56 Weather Authority app today.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Now, Fox 56 Sports, sponsored by Arby's.
Welcome back. Eastern Kentucky dropped to Marshall on the road Saturday. falling 38-7 in a game where the Thundering Herd came in with some energy for their first win of the season. After starting 0-2, the Colonels struggled to match that energy throughout the game. Once again, EKU had difficulty putting all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams together. That seemed to be the problem throughout its first few games of the season. Head coach Walt Wells acknowledged the performance as part of the team's ongoing development with a young group, but this week they will have to grow as they are set to face yet another road test at West Georgia.
It's hard for your defense to go out there and maintain a level that they were playing at early on. And then offensively, we have to continue to strive to get better and get things better and be more productive. And you know, the goal is to get first downs, but also to get points. So we have to do a better job of that in our preparation and practice.
Last Friday's Home Team Friday Nights Play of the Week featured athletes from Great Crossing, Franklin County, and Somerset. Let's check out who the fans voted to be this week's winner.
Now, from Fox 56 Sports, this is the Home Team Friday Nights Play of the Week.
All right, this week's winner is going to Franklin County. Knox Barrett drops back to find Delano Collins downfield. Of course, he can come down with it in double coverage. A big-time catch for Collins. Plus, this was a big win for Franklin County, who took down Lexington Christian in a nail-biter to remain undefeated. Well, if you can believe it, we are just 49 days away from basketball season. The team has been practicing even though things have been quiet. However, Kentucky standout Otega Owe was in a boot this summer, which most saw with a picture surfacing on social media. Owe gave an update Tuesday evening on his status as of now. Take a listen.
So give us an update on where you're kind of at right now and what happened.
Yeah, I had a turf toe. I've been out for like 4 weeks, so now I'm like 2 weeks in for me to get back onto the course. So, you know, it was a good rehab process, but, you know, I did have
just cautious, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if there were real games, you'd be out there, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They're still trying to stop me from doing the little stuff I'm doing now. But
right now, you got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
The Reds were in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals in the second game of the series. Cincy won game one, 11-6. Tonight, things looked a little different with the Reds falling 3-0. We will see who will take the series tomorrow afternoon at 1:15. And to go back to Otega Owe, he actually saw the same foot specialist as Joe Burrow.
Oh, wow.
So it's safe to say that he is in good hands and is on a positive trajectory.
I'd say that's someone who knows what we're talking about.
Absolutely, yes.
Thanks, Colby.
And thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Our next newscast is bright and early at 5 a.m.
Good night.